Prior to that, I was a cowboy. It was nothing for me to go in there and risk 50% of my account on trades that I had no business being in when I didn't even know how to trade. But when I had my son, Cody, putting aside all the drama that came with how I became a father, that changed a lot of things for me. It changed the way I viewed risk. I looked at things differently. And I thought to myself, when I take on risk, when I try to do something to increase myself, am I exposing him to more risk? Am I incurring more risk or potential of losing whatever I've gained in hopes of becoming better in the view of other people outside myself or him? So becoming a father for me helped me mature in a way that I would have not probably been successful at had I not become a father. So in short and in more specific terms, when I look at taking on risk and I placed my son in the middle of the conversation, will this next transaction make it easier for me to be a father for him? Or will it be harder for me to be a father to him? And for some of you that don't have children, what that means is if I lose money, it doesn't take food from his mouth. It doesn't keep him in a position of being unclothed. It doesn't mean that we're unsheltered. It just means that now my time, my energy, my focus away from the charts will not be able to be on him because I will be in regret. I will be in sorrow. I will be remorseful for the things I've taken on in terms of risk. So it dilutes my attention as a father. Now I'm applying it to this real experience I had for myself. For those of you that are listening that don't have children, you don't have anything that is dependent on you. It's just you. You're a young person and you're living a life that's free of all that. In many ways, I envy that because there's a lot of emotional turmoil that come with managing children, even adult children that don't want to listen. And you have to find that reason to not just, I'm willing to take the risk because if I lose, I'm still young enough I can make it back. That's how everybody starts in this industry. You can come in with all the greatest intentions of following, risk no more than this much and don't overtrade. That's all fine and great until you start pressing the real button. Not a demo, not a funded account challenge, where the money can actually come out of your own hands. When that money comes in and out of your account, the weight behind that is not something that could be easily explained away. It has to be felt, it has to be experienced. And the worst thing that can happen is you get lucky in the beginning because you think you're laying up treasure for yourself, and it becomes so easy to think that it's always going to be easy for you. I'm just going to keep stacking up my emerald bricks of dollar bill, y'all. Pick out my next thing I want to spend money on. Pick out my next destination I want to go travel to and experience and put on my Instagram. Laying up treasures for yourself, after a while, and it's very, very short-lived, nobody cares. At some point, no matter how profitable you are, at some point you're going to reach that level where, yeah, I make money. Yeah, I'm doing well, but how many cars can I buy? And how many new things do I have to buy to keep people interested in me? And then you discover what I discovered in my 20s, that nobody really cares. They don't really care about you when you do that. They're living vicariously through your decisions and what you show. And they think to themselves, because they're spending time chasing and pursuing you because you're doing that, their concern is not about you. The concern that they had about me on America Online was not generally about me, but I wanted to believe it was. And the people that do this, they want to be looked up to. They want to be worshiped. They want to be idolized. Those things carry you only so far. And at some point, no matter how good you are, it stops satisfying. And when it stops satisfying you and you no longer get that, well, return on your investment, and you start seeing the diminishing returns, no matter what you do, and no matter what you try to do over the top, spending money, showing this and showing that, it won't bring you any satisfaction. It won't really entice any of your followers or people that look up to you, and you'll become bored in their eyes, or boring rather, and you will become bored by what it is that you're doing. And the long and short of it is that's all the wrong things. You're laying up treasures for yourself here. But when you have this pursuit of laying up treasures for yourself, that is such a short-lived journey of success. Because at some point, there's just simply nothing else to do. And that's an unfortunate state of mind to be in, because I found myself that way in my 20s. And while it's easy for me to go out there and show that I have lots of money and I can earn lots of money and I can create new business ventures and partnerships and do all kinds of things, open up new mentorships, and I'm not doing it. I told you I wasn't. My pursuits, my why I'm doing anything going forward is for the treasures I'm laying up for my family. I want to create memories for them. I want to create memories for myself. And I've robbed myself of that. And it's easy to get caught up in the success. I have lots of students that are making lots of money now, and they're finding success in what they're doing, and they feel good about themselves. And I'm so thankful that they've had that experience. But I don't want you to think that that's all there is to it. Because at some point, if you don't have a child now, you might become a parent later on. And then all of a sudden, you're going to have a greater sense of respect for risk. Because if you found yourself in a position of prominence or affluence, and then you have a child, now all of a sudden, because you are equipping them with a lifestyle that would be above the average lifestyle, you don't want to risk losing it. You want to make sure that they are able to be kept well, provided for. And I found that was the case for me. I didn't want to do anything to upset the apple cart. I wanted to make sure that, when they were raised by me, that I wouldn't be in a position of lack like I was when I was younger. I know what it felt like to be sleeping in a car with a 1-year-old or less than a 1-year-old. I know what it's like to be homeless. I know what it's like to have no roof over your head, no money in the bank. I know what it feels like to have a seized bank account and having to file bankruptcy. I've done all those things before. I've done that. I've lived all that before. And when you have children, or for some of you that are listening, when you have a why that it's outside yourself, you do things for other people. They may not be directly related to you. They may not be your offspring. It may be that you want to sponsor the less fortunate. That's an admirable thing. It should not be broadcasted. It should not be out there say, I support this, I support that person, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, because that's your reward then. But you have to have some kind of sense of reason, some purpose beyond and outside yourself to do this, because if you don't, you will take blind risk. You'll do things when you're bored.